Iran, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Czechoslovakia twice, Norway, Denmark, Germany, Austria, Manchuria, Korea, the Kuril Islands in the North Pacific, Afghanistan, and now, of course, Ukraine. I'm speaking today as someone who has Polish heritage. My grandparents came from Ireland and from Poland, and they went to the United States seeking freedom. They knew what it was like not to be free. I was in primary school in Boston during the Cold War. Russia's long shadow loomed then. Air raid sirens were tested every Friday at noon. So when we were in primary school on a Friday at 12 o'clock, the air raid siren would blast out. It was a test. And that's because the Cold War was on and the United States was always under threat from a possible attack from Russia. Our fire drills were fire drills, but we also had drills where we were sent down into the basement of the school. In a fire drill, you were sent outside to be safe, but for us, we went into the basement where we would be safe in case any bombs came down. The public buildings and the subways had those little yellow and black signs on them, and that was to indicate that that was the place where we could go if an attack was coming. We knew that we could go there. Russia's long shadow overcame me when I was in secondary school. One of our fellow students in secondary school had escaped from Ukraine with his mother and his father as a baby. And as the families, the mothers, the fathers, and the children were crawling through the woods to escape the Soviet guards, the mothers had to put their hands over the mouths of the babies and the children to keep them from crying out. Because if the children cried, they would give away their position to the Soviets. From my friend, so at that time, Russia's long shadow became personal for me. And from my friend, over 4 years in high school, we learned, all of us, myself and my friends at the school, we learned all about Ukraine. We learned about the famine in the 1930s, when Stalin starved an estimated 3.9 million people. That's 13% of the population. We learned that Ukrainians never wanted Russia to control them, and my friend devoted his life to the Ukrainian cause. The Ukrainians became independent in 1991. Now they knew what it was like to be free. There was never going to be any going back for them. Anyone who knew anything about Ukraine knew that. How smart is Vladimir Putin that he doesn't understand independent Ukrainians? Russia took over Crimea and the Donbas region of Ukraine, and now they're attempting to take over the whole of Ukraine. Where will Russia stop? What country is next? The Ukrainians are fighting for their freedom once more, but they are also fighting for the freedom for all of us. We are standing with Ukraine, and we will continue to stand with Ukraine. And that long shadow of Russia will be no more.